Welcome back, my channel Old Cryptocoin, and new video. The Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of the most famous and collectible coins in American history. For generations, people across the United States have carried these small copper coins in their pockets without realizing that some rare pennies could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today. In this video, we explore three incredible Liberty 1-cent coins that continue to attract collectors and coin hunters from around the world. These coins are more than simple money. They are tiny pieces of American history filled with mystery, rarity, and hidden value. The first coin in today's story is the legendary 1943 steel penny. During World War II, copper became extremely important for military equipment and ammunition. Because of this shortage, they decided to produce pennies using zinc-coated steel instead of copper. This created one of the most unusual coins ever made in America. The silver-colored appearance shocked many people because pennies had always been known for their copper color. Millions of 1943 steel cents entered circulation, but collectors soon noticed rare mistakes. A small number of copper pennies were accidentally struck during production. These rare 1943 copper cents became some of the most valuable coins in American history. Stories of ordinary people discovering one in pocket change created excitement throughout the coin collecting community. Today, collectors still search through old jars and collections hoping to find this rare treasure. The steel penny itself has an interesting look and feel. Unlike traditional copper cents, it sticks to magnets because it contains steel. Over time, many examples developed rust or discoloration, making high-quality survivors much harder to find. Collectors especially value coins with original surfaces and strong detail. A beautiful uncirculated steel cent can still command impressive prices today. The second coin we explore is the famous 1955 double-die penny. This coin became legendary because of one dramatic minting error. During the production process, the design was accidentally impressed twice onto the coin die at slightly different angles. As a result, the lettering and date appeared doubled in a very noticeable way. Words like liberty and "in God we trust" show clear doubling visible even without magnification. When these coins entered circulation, many people thought they were fake or damaged. But collectors quickly realized they represented one of the greatest error coins ever created by the United States Mint. The excitement surrounding the 1955 double-die penny helped increase public interest in coin collecting during the 1950s and 1960s. Finding a genuine 1955 double-die penny today is extremely difficult. Many counterfeit versions exist because of the coin's popularity and high value. Professional grading companies carefully authenticate these pennies to confirm their legitimacy. Genuine examples in excellent condition have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. This coin proves how a simple minting mistake can transform an ordinary 1-cent coin into a historic collectible. The third coin in this video is the 1969 S double-die Lincoln cent. Like the famous 1955 error penny, this coin displays dramatic doubling on the lettering and date. However, the 1969 S penny is even rarer in some ways because fewer examples were discovered. Early on, some people who found these coins were mistakenly investigated because authorities suspected counterfeiting. Eventually, experts confirmed that the coins were genuine mint errors produced by the San Francisco Mint. Today, the 1969 S double-die cent is considered one of the most important Lincoln penny varieties in existence. Collectors carefully examine old pennies using magnifying glasses, hoping to discover one. High-grade examples can sell for enormous prices, especially when certified by trusted grading companies. The history of the Lincoln cent itself began in 1909. Designed by the coin honored on the 100th anniversary of his birth. Before Lincoln cents, American coins rarely featured real historical figures. The decision to place Lincoln on the penny marked a major change in United States coinage tradition. The original reverse design featured two wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent and United States America. Because of this design, collectors often call these coins wheat pennies. The wheat penny remained in production until 1958 and became one of the most beloved coin series ever produced. During the Great Depression, World War II, and the economic boom of the 1950s, Lincoln cents passed through millions of American hands. They bought newspapers, candy, gasoline, and groceries. Every coin carries traces of the era in which it circulated. This historical connection is one reason collectors love old pennies so much. Coin collecting grew rapidly during the mid-20th century. Families searched through rolls of pennies looking for rare dates and mint marks. Children filled blue coin albums, while adults studied coin guides and attended trade shows. The thrill of discovering a valuable penny in ordinary change made the hobby exciting and accessible to everyone. Condition is extremely important when determining coin value. Most old pennies show wear from circulation. Scratches, fading, and discoloration reduce value significantly. However, coins preserved in mint condition with original color and strong details are much scarcer. Professional grading companies use numerical systems to evaluate preservation and authenticity. Color also matters greatly with copper coins. Collectors categorize Lincoln cents as brown, or red. Fully red coins retain their original mint luster and are considered most desirable. Because copper naturally darkens over time, bright red examples become increasingly rare as decades pass. Mint marks tell collectors where coins were produced. A small D indicates the Denver Mint, while an S represents the San Francisco Mint. Coins without mint marks were usually struck in Philadelphia during many years of production. Differences between mints sometimes create unique varieties and strike characteristics that collectors study carefully. One fascinating aspect of coin collecting involves minting errors. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, double dies, and die cracks all result from mistakes during production. Rather than reducing value, these unusual errors often increase collector demand because they are rare and visually interesting. Technology has changed coin collecting dramatically over the years. Today's story takes us deep into the world of American coinage, focusing on one of the most common yet surprisingly interesting pieces ever produced by the United States Mint, the 1991 Liberty 1-cent coin, also widely known as the 1991 Lincoln cent. At first glance, it may seem like just another penny, something you might find in your pocket, under your couch, or lying forgotten in an old jar. But when we look closer, this small copper-coated coin reveals a fascinating history of design, production, economics, and national identity that connects directly to the legacy of one of America's greatest leaders, Abraham Lincoln. To understand the 1991 1-cent coin, we must first understand what it represents. The United States 1-cent coin, commonly called the penny, has been a cornerstone of American currency since 1793. Over the years, its design has changed several times, but the most recognizable and longest-running design is the Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. This was a historic moment because it marked the first time a real person, rather than symbolic imagery like Lady Liberty, appeared on a circulating U.S. coin. By the time 1991 arrived, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for more than 80 years. The design on the front, or obverse, still featured the profile portrait of Abraham Lincoln, facing right. This portrait was originally designed by Victor David Brenner and remains one of the most enduring coin designs in American history. Above Lincoln's head is the word Liberty, symbolizing the core American value that defines both the coin and the nation itself. To the right of Lincoln's portrait is the year of minting, 1991, and below is the motto, "In God We Trust." On the reverse side of the 1991 1-cent coin, we see the Lincoln Memorial design, which had been introduced in 1959 to replace the earlier wheat ears design. The Lincoln Memorial itself is a detailed structure, and if you look closely at the coin, you can actually see a tiny seated statue of Abraham Lincoln inside the memorial's chamber. This level of detail is remarkable considering the coin is less than 2 centimeters wide. Above the memorial, the words United States of America curve along the top edge, while E pluribus unum is inscribed below, meaning out of many one. At the bottom, the denomination 1 cent is clearly displayed. The 1991 penny was produced by the United States Mint, an institution responsible for manufacturing all official U.S. coinage. In 1991, coins were struck at multiple mint facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint typically produced coins without a mint mark, while Denver coins carry a small D and San Francisco coins often carry an S, especially for proof sets. These variations make collecting coins from the same year more interesting because each mint location can produce subtle differences. Now, let's talk about the composition of the 1991 1-cent coin. By this time, pennies were no longer made of solid copper. Since 1982, due to rising metal costs, the composition had changed to 97.5% zinc with a thin outer layer of copper plating. This means that while the coin still looks like copper, it is mostly zinc inside. This change was made to reduce production costs, as the metal value of older copper pennies began to exceed their face value. The 1991 penny is part of this modern zinc-based era of coin production. Even though the 1991 1-cent coin is extremely common, it plays an important role in everyday commerce. In the United States, pennies are still used in cash transactions, price rounding, and change making. However, many people debate whether the penny should still exist due to its low purchasing power and production costs. Despite these debates, the penny continues to be minted, partly because of tradition and partly because it remains a symbol of American currency. Collectors often overlook the 1991 penny because billions of them were produced, making it extremely easy to find. However, coin collectors, also known as numismatists, sometimes search for special varieties, errors, and high-grade examples. A standard circulated 1991 penny might be worth only 1 cent, but flawless, uncirculated version graded by professional services can sometimes hold a higher collectible value. Error coins, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or misprinted dies, can be significantly more valuable depending on rarity. One interesting aspect of the 1991 1-cent coin is its connection to a long transitional period in U.S. coin production. By the early 1990s, the United States Mint had already adopted modern high-speed coin presses capable of producing billions of coins per year. Quality control systems were in place, but occasional minting errors still occurred, making some coins unique. These errors are often what excite collectors the most, because they transform an ordinary penny into a rare piece of history. The design featuring Abraham Lincoln is also deeply symbolic. Lincoln is widely regarded as one of the greatest presidents in American history, known for leading the country during the Civil War and preserving the Union. His image on the penny is not just decorative. It is a reminder of leadership, unity, and the struggle for freedom. The word liberty above his portrait reinforces the ideals he fought to preserve. This connection between design and national identity is one of the reasons the Lincoln cent has remained unchanged on the obverse for more than a century. When you hold a 1991 1-cent coin in your hand, you are holding a piece of continuous American history. It may not be rare or made of precious metal, but it represents a system of currency that has evolved over centuries. From large copper cents in the 1700s to modern zinc-based coins, the penny tells a story of economic change and technological advancement. In terms of size and specifications, the 1991 penny weighs approximately 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. Its edge is smooth without reading. These standardized measurements allow pennies to function efficiently in vending machines, cash registers, and coin sorting systems. Even small design details are carefully engineered to maintain consistency across billions of coins. Another important aspect of the 1991 penny is its role in American culture. Many people associate pennies with luck, childhood savings, and everyday transactions. The phrase, "a penny for your thoughts," reflects how deeply embedded this coin is in language and tradition. Next step, the Lincoln Memorial Cent may look like an ordinary American penny. But for collectors and coin enthusiasts, this small copper-colored coin carries a fascinating story. Hidden behind its simple design is a rich history connected to the United States economy, American culture, and the world of rare coin collecting. Today we are exploring the famous 1998 Lincoln 1-cent coin from the United States of America, uncovering its history, design, minting process, errors, collector value, and why some examples are worth far more than 1 cent. The Lincoln cent is one of the most recognized coins in American history. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the coin became the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Before Lincoln appeared on American currency, most coins displayed symbolic figures, such as Lady Liberty. The introduction of Lincoln's portrait marked a major turning point in American coinage. The front of the 1998 Lincoln cent features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln faces right with the words, "In God we trust," above his head. The word liberty appears to the left, while the year 1998 is shown on the right side of the coin. Depending on the mint location, some coins include a small mint mark below the date. The reverse side of the 1998 penny displays the famous Lincoln Memorial design. This design was introduced in 1959 and remained on pennies until 2008. In the center of the coin stands the Lincoln Memorial Building in Washington, D.C., one of America's most important historical landmarks. Tiny details inside the memorial even show a miniature image of Lincoln seated in his famous statue. Around the building are the words United States of America, 1 cent, and the national motto, E Pluribus Unum. The year 1998 was an interesting time in American history. The United States economy was growing rapidly during the late 1990s. Technology companies were expanding. The internet was becoming more popular, and millions of Americans were entering a new digital age. During this period, billions of pennies circulated through stores, vending machines, restaurants, and businesses every single day. The 1998 Lincoln cent became part of everyday American life. Most 1998 pennies were produced at the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. Coins from Philadelphia generally have no mint mark, while Denver coins display a small D below the date. Large numbers were also struck at the San Francisco Mint for collectors in proof sets. Although millions upon millions were made, certain rare varieties and high-grade examples have become valuable over time. One reason collectors love the 1998 penny is because of error coins. During the minting process, mistakes occasionally happened. These mint errors transformed ordinary pennies into highly collectible treasures. Some of the most famous 1998 penny errors include double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, clip planchets, and weak strikes. The most famous variety connected to the 1998 Lincoln cent is the wide AM variety. On the reverse side of most pennies, the letters A and M in the word America appear very close together. However, on some rare 1998 pennies, the letters are spaced farther apart. This unusual design variation is known as the wide AM error. Collectors search carefully for this rare variety because valuable examples can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition. The story behind a wide AM variety is fascinating. During the production process, proof reverse dies intended for collector coins were accidentally used on regular circulation coins. This created a different spacing between the letters in America. Because only a limited number were produced, these coins became rare discoveries in circulation. Coin collectors often examine pennies using magnifying glasses or microscopes, hoping to find wide AM examples. The excitement of discovering a valuable error in ordinary pocket change is one of the reasons coin collecting remains popular across the United States and around the world. Condition is extremely important when determining value. Most 1998 pennies entered circulation and became worn over time. Scratches, dirt, discoloration, and damage reduced their collector appeal. However, coins preserved in uncirculated condition with original mint luster are far more desirable. Professional grading companies use detailed numerical systems to evaluate coins. A heavily worn penny may receive a low grade, while a flawless example could receive an extremely high mint state grade. Even a small difference in grade can dramatically increase market value. Color also plays a major role in collector pricing. Lincoln cents are generally categorized as brown, or red. Fully red coins with original bright mint color are considered the most desirable. Exposure to air causes copper surfaces to darken over time, making original red examples increasingly difficult to find. The metal composition of the 1998 penny is different from older Lincoln cents. Earlier pennies were made mostly of copper, but modern Lincoln cents contain a zinc core covered with a thin layer of copper. This change occurred in 1982 due to rising copper prices. Although the coin still appears copper-colored, its internal structure is primarily zinc. Collectors often compare modern pennies to classic wheat cents from earlier decades. While wheat pennies feature wheat stalks on the reverse side, the 1998 penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Series. Both designs remain highly popular among coin enthusiasts. Another interesting aspect of the 1998 penny is proof coins. Proof coins are specially produced for collectors using polished dies and planchets. These coins feature mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. Proof pennies from the San Francisco Mint often appear stunning compared to regular circulation coins. Stop Loss of Lincoln Memorial Cent is one of the most recognizable modern American coins ever produced by the United States Mint. At first glance, this small copper-colored penny may seem ordinary, but collectors across the United States continue searching for valuable versions of the 2000 Lincoln cent because certain rare errors and high-grade examples can be worth far more than 1 cent. Today we are exploring the history, design, hidden value, rare varieties, and fascinating story behind the Liberty 1 cent 2000 coin from the United States of America. The Lincoln cent has a long and legendary history in American coin collecting, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln. The penny became the first regular United States coin to feature a real historical figure. Before Lincoln appeared on the cent, American coins mostly displayed symbolic images like Lady Liberty. The introduction of Lincoln's portrait marked a major change in U.S. coinage history. By the year 2000, the Lincoln cent had already become a daily part of American life for generations. Millions of Americans carried pennies in their pockets, piggy banks, cash registers, and coin jars. The 2000 Lincoln cent circulated during a period when the United States was entering a brand new millennium. Technology was rapidly changing the world. The internet was growing quickly, and Americans were celebrating the beginning of the 21st century. The obverse side of the 2000 Lincoln cent features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln created by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln faces to the right with the words, "In God we trust," above his head. The word liberty appears beside him, while the date 2000 is positioned below. Many collectors appreciate the simplicity and elegance of this classic design. On the reverse side, the coin displays the Lincoln Memorial Building located in Washington, D.C. This reverse design was created by Frank Gasparo and had been used since 1959. One fascinating detail about the Lincoln Memorial reverse is that if you look closely, a tiny image of Lincoln can actually be seen seated inside the memorial. This means Lincoln appears on both sides of the coin, something unique in American coin history. The year 2000 Lincoln cent was produced at multiple mint facilities, including Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark, while Denver coins include the small D mint mark below the date. Proof versions were also produced in San Francisco with an S mint mark specifically for collectors. Most 2000 pennies are extremely common because billions were minted. However, collectors know that not every coin is equal. Condition plays a major role in determining value. Pennies that remain bright, shiny, and free from scratches are worth much more than heavily wore examples found in circulation. One of the most exciting parts of coin collecting involves searching for minting errors. During the production process, mistakes sometimes occur. These mint errors can transform ordinary coins into valuable collectibles. Some 2000 Lincoln cents display off-center strikes, double dies, clip planchets, die cracks, or broad strike errors. These unusual features attract strong attention from collectors and coin dealers. Among the most famous modern penny varieties are double die coins. This happens when the coin die receives multiple impressions at slightly different angles during production. As a result, letters or numbers may appear doubled under magnification. Collectors carefully inspect 2000 pennies, looking for unusual doubling in the date or inscriptions. Another important factor in coin value is color designation. Lincoln cents are typically categorized as red, red-brown, or brown. Freshly minted pennies originally display a bright red copper appearance. Over time, exposure to air causes the copper surface to darken. Fully red examples are considered the most desirable because they retain their original mint brilliance. High-grade 2000 Lincoln cents certified by professional grading companies can sometimes sell for impressive amounts, especially if they receive near-perfect grades. Coins graded mint state 67 or higher are particularly difficult to find because even small marks or scratches reduce the grade significantly. The composition of the 2000 penny is also interesting. Earlier Lincoln cents were made mostly from copper, but modern pennies use a zinc core coated with thin copper plating. This change occurred in the 1980s because copper prices increased dramatically. Although modern pennies still look like copper coins, they contain mostly zinc inside. Many collectors enjoy searching through bank rolls, hoping to discover rare error coins. Roll hunting has become a popular hobby where collectors buy rolls of pennies from banks and carefully inspect each coin for valuable varieties. Occasionally, lucky collectors discover unusual errors worth hundreds of dollars. The year 2000 also holds cultural importance because it marked the transition into a new millennium. Many people save coins from that year as souvenirs or keepsakes. Some believe millennium coins will become highly collectible in the future because of their symbolic date. Coin collecting remains one of the most popular hobbies in the United States because it combines history, treasure hunting, and education. Even small 1-cent coins can tell powerful stories about American society, economics, politics, and culture. Every penny passed through countless hands during its journey in circulation. The Lincoln Memorial reverse design remained in use until 2008, before special bicentennial designs were introduced in 2009. Because of this, the 2000 penny represents part of the final era of the classic Lincoln Memorial cent series. Collectors often build complete sets, including every year and mint mark from the series. One fascinating aspect of collecting is eye appeal. Two coins of the same grade may appear very different to collectors. Coins with strong luster, attractive color, and clean surfaces often command premium prices. Professional grading companies evaluate these characteristics carefully when assigning grades. Proof versions of the 2000 Lincoln cent were specially struck for collectors using polished dies and carefully prepared planchets. These proof coins display mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. Many collectors purchase proof sets directly from a United States mint to preserve these beautiful coins in perfect condition. Some collectors specialize only in error coins because every error tells a unique story about the minting process.